there are multiple films about the multiverse at the moment. If Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness didn't grab your attention, perhaps Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh.
You cannot control everything, Strange. You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it. Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be your only chance of stopping it.
The multiverse on film. But what about in real life? The idea that these parallel universes, if you like, might actually exist. Is there any scientific evidence? Well, let's talk to Professor Catherine Haymans, who's Astronomer Royal for Scotland. Good morning.
Good morning, Martha.
Well, as we got a flavour of there, the idea of the multiverse is great for science fiction. But what's the attitude of scientists towards it?
Well, it's quite mixed. So we have, one of the fun things that we do as a scientist is we use maths to explain the world as we see around us. And one of the fun things that we can do when we have the maths to explain what we can see, we can then use that to predict what we can't see. And there's a whole range of different theories about how our universe was created. And a bunch of them say that when our universe was created, other universes were also created, and that in fact our universe isn't the only one, that it's one of many in a multiverse.
So theoretically, it's possible.
Mathematics say yes, theoretically it's possible. So then you ask the question, well, are we going to let maths tell us what reality is? And what I love about these films is that they're taking these theoretical possibilities and turning them into a sort of reality on the screen. Now, we have these theories about our own universe. And what's fun with them is that you can add in some quantum physics as well to those equations, which give you another sort of reality where these multiverses are created each time a quantum decision is made. And in that scenario, then you can get the type of universes that we see in these two films where you have sort of different versions of yourself. So, Martha, I think you're a blonde, but maybe you'd be a brunette in one of these other quantum realities.
Or perhaps in reality without the blonde eye, but let's not go there.
But what's different about the sort of the possibilities with physics and these films is that we see in these films that characters can communicate between these different realities, or that information is exchanged, and that's not possible within the sort of the realms of physics that we understand. So if you really wanted the universe as portrayed in these films, then we'd have to throw the Matrix into the mix as well, Martha, because the only way that you could communicate between different multiverses would be if they were all computer simulations. So imagine that we're actually a computer simulation on a hard drive somewhere. Then, of course, the simulator would create multiple different realizations, and then maybe we could communicate between them, as you see in these fantastic new movies.
And I'm interested in what you say about quantum physics, because is there something about the way that particles behave at that micro level that suggests that our normal rules aren't followed?
Yeah, so I always think of quantum physics as a little bit magic. I'm allowed to say that because I'm a professor of physics. But in the quantum realms, things don't behave how you imagine them in the world that we're familiar with, and that opens up these strange possibilities. So one thing that we don't understand in quantum terms is that these decisions are made. So particles can behave as waves, or they can behave as sort of balls, if you like.
And they can be in the same place, in different places at the same time.
At the same time, yes. If you really want to transport yourself through a wall, Martha, quantum physics tells you that it's very, very, very unlikely, but there is a very small possibility that you could quantum tunnel through a wall. And these wonderful theoretical physics, highly low probability, but it lends us to be able to think of these wild, beautiful new worlds where everything, everywhere, all at once can happen.
Well, you're blowing my mind this early in the morning. I'm tunnelling through a wall and ending up as a brunette. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Catherine Haymans.